So here we are back where we started. Welcome to the last of the 2013 IMD Leadership Stream blogs with Alistair, hello, and me, Peter. So I wanted to talk this last time about what happened at the end of the year, and one of the things as well that didn't happen, which was that I didn't do a particularly good job on my last leadership stream essay. I was writing it right up until the deadline, and I felt really satisfied with the previous ones, but the last one, I don't know whether I didn't make the effort or there was too much on my mind, but it didn't get done very well. So I decided to rewrite it, and that pretty much is the spirit of what I wanted to talk about today, because whilst we've finished this long leadership stream and a year of an IMD MBA, the actual you realise that actually the way to continue learning, you have to just carry on doing the self-reflection that we've been doing throughout the year in detail. I have missed many boats over the last couple of months because of what's been going on with job searches and everything else, and I've not acted on that little voice inside of me that speaks and says, you should be doing this, and make sure you do this. And in creating this video, I wanted to kind of transpose the commitment of the class as a whole, all 90 of us, to this continuous leadership development journey that we've entered into, and it's a journey of self-reflection which will continue right through into the future. I think one thing throughout the year we've had an argument over in the class is that some say that introspection can become paralysing, preventing us from acting with emotion and passion, while sometimes the hallmark of mindless behaviour, can also produce some of the most valued situations and experiences of our lives. Not to mention that creativity and invention often may be paired with what others perceive as less than mindful behaviour, at least in terms of comfort, because often it's in times of greatest discomfort emotionally and in behaviours that others are exhibiting on us and we are exhibiting onto others that we learn and grow the most. But what I've learnt is that whilst you may regret some of your behaviour, when angry and when you have passion for what you're doing, mindful reflection doesn't preclude you from still behaving like that, but simply helps you to understand why I behave like that. One of the takeaways for me this year in leaving is that my own dreams that I had at the beginning of the year that I had for this MBA at the beginning of the year, they felt kind of limited now compared to how it feels now. And I think the mindful reflection that I've undergone this year has allowed me to create space in my mind to have new dreams that I'm sharing with my wife and Alistair, obviously, because they now involve him. And one of those particular ones is that my career is not going to be linear in the slightest. In fact, that's farthest from the shape which it probably will be. I think also another thing that really has been great, especially over the past few months, I've managed to build a better relationship with my wife, because I think before we were stuck in behaviours that were fairly mindless, and that was perhaps due to some of the stresses from having the baby and doing the MBA at the same time, and we've actually actively dissolved those kind of behaviours and boxed in approaches through pushing love and understanding and empathy to the surface in the kind of whirlpool of our daily lives. This blog has been another such opportunity for reflection, and while most people see it as a passive activity, that's wrong. My reflection that's wrong. It does take energy. Each time I post the blog, I see that a few more than 90 of my classmates have been watching it. So it's not watched widely, but I've realised now that actually the people who are watching it are probably more next year's class rather than last year's class. And so for this audience is really this blog. I'm not going to, whilst I'm not in the same journey anymore as you, and took only a short section of a path that happens to traverse the same views, it is really about this journey that we are going on and committing to go on, is to continue this self-reflection and understanding of why we behave in the way that we do. And I think finally I wanted to end with a quote from Nelson Mandela, who I think started with in one of the blogs earlier this year when we were in South Africa, and which no classes from now on will actually experience South Africa, because I don't think they're going back there next year. I have walked the long road to freedom, but after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. I have taken a moment here to rest, to steal a view of the glorious vista that surrounds me, to look back on the distance I have come. But I can only rest for a moment, for with freedom comes responsibilities, and I dare not linger, for my long walk is not yet ended.